Good afternoon and welcome to the 2020 Economic Recession and Preparation channel. I'm your host, Tony. Thank you for joining me on this August the 18th, 2020, Super Tuesday or not. Today, we're going to talk about consumer sentiment dropping like a rock as a result of the sickness pandemic and as a result of broke consumers running out of stimulus money, stimulus check money, and regular paycheck money as well. In an article from CNBC published today at 10:30, Walmart says consumer spending dropped as stimulus checks ran out. Now, I understand that many of us did not receive stimulus checks as a result of not qualifying or as a result of other circumstances. But for those of us in our community who did receive stimulus checks, that $1,200 plus $500 for dependents is long gone, as we are deep into summer now, heading into a depressionary fall and winter time. Walmart got a bump in sales in the fiscal second quarter as customers rushed to stores to spend their stimulus checks. The retail giant is now waiting to see if lawmakers approve another round of stimulus checks, as if we all are, and help the small businesses. Ironically, Walmart is the main killer of small businesses in mid to small size cities across America. But in this case, they're waiting to see what's going to happen with Congress. Now, as you know, Congress is on recess until September 7th after the Labor Day holiday. And any chance of a second stimulus check is now pushed back to mid-October at the earliest. Walmart CFO Brett Biggs said the following: "Stimulus was definitely impactful to the consumer in the second quarter. And we're watching to see what's going on in Washington and how we're going to progress with a new stimulus package," quote. He says, quote, "I think it certainly would be helpful for consumers." Helpful for consumers or helpful for Walmart's bottom line? You decide. You tell me. So now we have companies such as Walmart, Costco, Target, consumer cyclicals, so they say on TV, on CNBC and MSNBC, the financial pundits are saying that these are going to help bolster the V-shaped recovery. The truth is, there is no V-shaped recovery, and these companies are looking out for their bottom line, their profitable bottom line. Because as you see, in the second quarter, there was a negative 32.9% drop in GDP, that's gross domestic product, in the United States. However, Walmart and other companies that we know stayed open during the pandemic, whereas us small businesses and others such as barbershops, gyms, restaurants, etc. were forced to close during the pandemic. Walmart and other stores, big box stores, remained open and they benefited from that. So while they made record strong quarter profits, fueled by a 97% jump in e-commerce sales, right? Because Amazon is also included in that. And also Walmart extended its, if you've been to Walmart, they have the online order pickup thing where you can order your groceries and you can drive up and pick it up in that little pickup section that they have. So while they made record profits the second quarter, most Americans did not benefit from any grocery savings at Walmart, any grocery savings at the regular grocery savings place. And now they're saying that they're waiting on us to get another stimulus check to run and give it all to them. Well, I'll tell you what. This is what we're going to do. We are not going to give our second set, if we get it, of stimulus checks to Walmart. Instead, we're going to take that money and invest it in ourselves. Invest it in becoming more self-sustainable with food, water, clothes, durable clothes, gold, silver, crypto, land, renting out our own houses to be able to make income for ourselves instead of making one family, the Walton family, and one company multi-million billions of dollars that they don't need. It's ironic because Walmart is known for quote-unquote rollback prices, but yet the only thing that they have rolled back is their hand from receiving more government money and stimulus. Small businesses are what drive the American economy. On top of that, 2/3 of the U.S. economy is built on consumerism. Walmart knows that. Amazon knows that. Microsoft knows that. Google knows that. Apple knows that. So if consumer sentiment is down, According to MarketWatch.com, there will be no V-shaped recovery for consumer sentiment. DataTrack says. DataTrack is a economic aggregator of data. They said consumer sentiment is likely to stay fragile for some time. So how can we as a nation heal when consumer sentiment is down throughout this sickness pandemic? And even before the sickness pandemic, people did not have much money to save in this economy. Disposable income was down since last September, even when the banks needed repo injections from the Federal Reserve. So we're not blaming it all on this sickness. I'm not blaming all of this consumer sentiment down, this depressionary state that we are entering for the next 10 to 12 years on just this sickness. That was just the pin that pricked the bubble. Sentiment, quote unquote, remained near a pandemic era low in early August, the University of Michigan said last Friday. Its closely watched index was at 72.8, barely any higher than the low of 72.5 touched in July. Richard Curtin, the survey's chief economist, notes, bad economic times are anticipated to persist not only during the year ahead, but the majority of consumers expect no return to a period of uninterrupted growth over the next 5 years. Even they know that the prices of food, gas, water, electricity, consumer services are going to go up because there are going to be less supplies on the shelves. Next time you go to a grocery store, a pharmacy, look at what products are no longer not there. And the products that we do get, look at how much we're getting of that product. We are getting less of a product for more money shelled out, more worthless monopoly money shelled out for less of a product, less potato chips in those bags. We knew that there was air in them before, but now it's really extreme. 3/4 of the bag is air. Less cereal in those boxes for the kids, less rice in those bags, less tuna cans and pasta cans on those shelves in the grocery store. Everyone feels it, from the Bay Area to Chicago, to New York, to LA, to DC, to Houston, to Indianapolis, even to the small farm towns in Iowa, Kansas, Nebraska. Everybody feels the pinch. And it is because of the greed of the multinational companies, such as Walmart, who is bolstering this reckless spending. And so now that consumer sentiment is at an all-time low, what do you think is going to happen to the U.S. economy that is based on 2/3 consumption? The U.S. economy is based on 2/3 consumption, meaning that if we do not consume and spend or have no money to spend, then the economy goes down into a recession, let alone a depression. The period from 2008 to 2012, when we had the Great Recession, the financial crisis, right? That dampened sentiment for years, even after the stock market bottomed out in March 2009. But this new financial crisis collapse is totally different. It is different because this one is going to be even longer lasting. And the more money that the Federal Reserve prints up, the more damaging it's going to be and the more heartfelt it's going to be in the average American's pocket. Let's say that we do not get a stimulus check this coming fall. And after the elections, that means that in 2021, either the first or second quarter, we are going to be feeling it in a recession, yea, even a depression, because all it takes for a depression is 2 negative quarters of GDP consecutively. Even if we go to digital money, which I see a lot of people are talking about, we're going to a federal coin or digital coin or something like a Bitcoin, but it's not a Bitcoin. Even if we go to that, there's still going to be pain felt by America because the money is just not there. There is nothing backing the U.S. dollar. Gold is no longer backing the U.S. dollar. So it might as well be like Bitcoin because nothing is backing that either. Nothing is backing the dollar. Nothing is backing Bitcoin. So we need to go back to sound fundamental principles here. And because consumer sentiment is dropping, the only way to raise consumer sentiment now is that the economy is going to go through what's called a transformation, okay? And this would mean that the Federal Reserve, the last bullet in the chamber, is going to be direct payments to consumers. Literally, what the president wants is that he wants to give every family $3,400, $3,400 or more helicopter money directly from the Federal Reserve Bank, meaning that, if it comes that dire, he might just do that in the next 2 to 3 months. So all I can encourage you to do is, if we do get that, then we know what we have to spend it on, because that may be very well be the last stimulus check of this whole recovery. Remember, Congress has already spent over $8 trillion. And now they're looking to add $3 or $4 trillion more with this second stimulus plan. And this still hasn't bailed out most of the small businesses, because most of the money that they got for the PPP loans, the Paycheck Protection Plan loans, that went to companies that didn't even need it. They had to end up returning the money or buying Ferraris or Lamborghinis with the money because they didn't even need that money. And so we are in dire straits. Continue to prepare. Every time you go to the store, whether it's a grocery store or hardware store, continue to get what you need, because there's going to come a time when you're going to see empty shelves and they're not going to be refilled again. You're going to see long queues of lines for gas, for medicine, for things that we need. And it's going to be, the sickness is going to be the furthest thing from your mind, despite what the media is hyping up in your mind. And, God bless those souls, that 170,000 people that have passed from this sickness. It is real. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's a hoax or anything like that, but it's going to be the last thing from your mind when your bellies are hungry and when you have crime all around you, when the system completely falters and breaks down. So I encourage you to get ready, stay ready. Everyone is in my prayers. Continue to pray for me and this country, and I'll be back with more information to next day. This is signing out today on August 18th, 2020. Have a blessed afternoon.